This is your team. This is the place that you can come every single week for those reminders of hope that you need when you're facing anything tricky or uncomfortable or strange or something that you've never experienced before. This is your team. I love these candy corns, but you guys, something tragic almost happened this year in my relationship with candy corns. Remember that God has got this, that He is with us, and that He wants to help us with whatever situation we're going through.
Yes, what is up, Ground Zero? Most of you have no idea who I am. My name is Aaron, and I am the Director of Student Ministries here at Brook Church. And for most of this year, I've been the one giving the messages to our high school students at Revolution, but it is so fun to be with you here at Ground Zero because Wednesday nights here at Ground Zero is the best place to be. But before I dive into the message, I just want to say, don't you guys have one of the best middle school teaching pastors in the entire country with Joelle Hassler? Yeah, let's give her a hand. Joelle, we love you. They love you here at Lionel, I'm sure at every campus. But hey, I want to kick off with a question. With a show of hands, how many of you would say that you love dogs? You are a dogs person? Yes. So many hands here. That means we can be friends. I'm friends with all of you with your hands up. My wife Ashley and I, we have two huge dogs named Bauer and Vaughn. They're big Great Pyrenees mountain dogs. That's Bauer. Bauer is our big male. He weighs about 150 pounds. That's bigger than almost every single one of you here. He loves to sit on laps, as you can see. He loves to snuggle. Just this morning, he was sleeping on the bed with his head on my pillow. Just a big cuddle bug. Vaughn is our smaller girl. She's our female, but she still weighs like 80 to 90 pounds. And you guys, we like to say she is spicy because when she sees, she's like really sweet, you know, really nice. But when she sees another dog, she just wants to like crush it. She just wants to show them who's boss. So it's really fun. We love our dogs. But a few months ago, I was sound asleep. It's about 2 a.m., so it's in the middle of the night when I woke up to the sound of our big dog Bauer making that deep, dry, heaving gut sound that dogs make when they're about to barf. You know, he was like, huh, huh, just over and over again. I'm like, what is happening? Pretty soon I hear, huh, huh, bleh, just barf splatter all over the floor. So I turned the lights on and I looked at his barf and I noticed in his barf was one of my wife Ashley's like makeup remover face wipes. He secretly ate it. Then I look at Bauer and he's looking at me like when dogs are sad, his ears are down, sad puppy eyes. He's like, I am so sorry, Dad. Please don't be mad at me for waking you up in the middle of the night, barfing on your bedroom floor, secretly eating mom's face wipes. You weren't supposed to know about that. I thought I'd be able to digest it, but I couldn't. And do you think we were mad at him? No, we weren't. We were so sad because when I noticed he just had to get that face wipe out of his belly, I felt bad for him because I understood why he barfed in the middle of the night, because it was making him feel sick. So I petted his head. I told him it's going to be okay. Ashley got out of bed. She started snuggling him, and all we wanted to do was bring comfort to our sick dog. Why? Because we understood why he needed to barf. Now, I tell you that story because we are in a series right now that we are calling Misunderstood. You see, we've all felt misunderstood at times in our life by our parents. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. Maybe our friends, our classmates. We often wonder, why don't people just get me? Why don't they get me? Or we wonder, why don't they understand the things that I do or the way that I'm feeling? We feel misunderstood by people at times. And I think one of the biggest reasons we often feel misunderstood is because of this word right here, secrets. secrets. Isn't it true that most of us have secrets, whether they're big secrets or little secrets, and those secrets could be a lot of different things. Maybe it's the way we feel about something that has happened to us. Maybe you didn't make the team. Maybe you're not fitting in with the friends that you want to fit in with. Maybe a friend of yours, you lost a friend of yours or someone that you love, right? And you're keeping that to yourself. Maybe it's secret thoughts that we have that we never share with anyone. Or maybe it's secret sin that's deep within our lives. And the problem is that those secrets are like toxins in our body. And the only way we can feel better, and the only way we can be comforted, and the only way people can understand us is if we get them out. For example, think about those face wipes that Bauer ate, right? He ate these face wipes, and those face wipes are full of what? They're full of toxins that made him sick, and the only way he could feel better and be understood is by vomiting those things out. Because once he got it out, he felt better, he was comforted, and we understood why he wasn't feeling well. In a similar way, guys, when we keep secret thoughts, when we have secret feelings that we're not sharing, when we have secret sin inside of us, the only way we can feel better and be understood is to get it out. Because God didn't create us to keep that stuff inside. He created us to vomit them out and get real with people so that they can understand us. And guys, Jesus totally gets this. For example, in the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus gives this sermon called the Sermon on the Mount. Have you ever heard of that? The Sermon on the Mount that Jesus gives. It's called that because Jesus went up on the hillside of this mountain to teach a large crowd of people, and these people wanted to know. They're like, God, Jesus, how can we be blessed? How can we be comforted? How can people understand us? What do we need to do? So Jesus kicked off this little sermon with what we call the Beatitudes. And a Beatitude are those little verses that say, blessed are those who... ... for they will something, right? So blessed are those who. And with every beatitude that Jesus gave, he gave a reward, something we can feel. And these beatitudes are just as relevant, just as challenging, and just as applicable to us today as they were to the crowd back then. Okay, and this is what Jesus says in Matthew chapter 5, verse 4. He said, blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are those who mourn. How is that a good thing? How is mourning a good thing? Why would we want to mourn? How are we happy when we mourn? Isn't mourning supposed to be a bad thing? That means something bad has happened. So what is Jesus trying to teach us here? Okay, well, what does mourn mean? To mourn means to get the stuff out that's inside of us. When we're mourning, we are getting out our feelings, we are getting out our secrets that's inside. It means if we're feeling hurt about losing someone we love, we need to mourn by not keeping those feelings secret, but by getting those feelings out. It means if we don't make the team, or if we're feeling so much pressure to be perfect at school, or for our parents, or something, or we're struggling with the secret sin, we need to mourn by getting those things out. And it also means if we're having very serious, maybe secret thoughts about if we're feeling depressed, or we're feeling anxious with something, or stressed out, or we're feeling like we're a little hopeless in life, we need to mourn those things by getting them out, by telling someone, because the only way, Ground Zero, that we can be understood by others and experience comfort from God and others is to vomit out our secrets. But here's the problem. So many of us, we refuse to mourn. And I know I do this sometimes. We refuse to mourn. And I think there are 3 reasons for that. Okay, the first reason is pride. It's pride. So many of us, myself included, we work so hard to make people like us, to fit in, right? To think that we're cool. So we try to protect our reputation because we don't want others to know that we're not perfect, that we have flaws, that we're sad sometimes, that we're struggling, or that something deep down inside is really hurting us. As a result, we keep quiet, we act strong, we don't cry, we don't share our feelings, and we keep those toxic secrets to ourselves. And we go day and night feeling misunderstood by people because our pride holds us back from being honest, right? We all struggle with pride sometimes. I think the second reason we refuse to mourn is fear. It's just fear. Maybe you fear that if you're real and if you're honest and if you barf up those secrets that you're keeping, you fear that people will reject you. Have you ever felt that way before? I know I have. Maybe you feel like God will reject you because of your sin, or you feel like your friends or your family will reject you. You think if they only knew my secrets, they would never love me, they would never accept me. And I get that. Sharing our stuff can be a scary thing. It can be scary to get real. It can be scary to share our secrets because the temptation is for us to hide when we're scared. For example, when I was about in middle school, elementary school, I wanted to go ride my bike. So I'm like, hey, Mom and Dad, I'm going for a bike ride. And I needed to cross our alley. And what do your parents say if you're on a bike and you're going to cross a street? Look both ways. I get on my bike, and I just bolt to the alley, and a truck was coming and just, boom, hit me. I got hit by a car. My bike was totaled. The front tire was all bent up and out of shape. I flew off my bike. I was all scraped up. And do you know what I did? I was so scared that I was going to get in trouble. So I went into the garage, and I just hid. I climbed behind this stuff. I don't know what it was, and I was just hiding, and my parents were looking for me. The dude who hit me was looking for me. They were calling my name, and I'm like, I'm just gonna hide and not say anything. Why was I hiding? Because I was scared. I feared, will they reject me? Will I get in trouble? Right? Sometimes fear holds us back from being honest, but when they found me, they comforted me. They're like, it's okay, Aaron. We're glad you're okay. Okay, so that's the second thing. I think the third reason I think we refuse to mourn is doubt. It's doubt. You know, sometimes we doubt, will anyone even care about my secrets? Maybe we doubt that if we share our stuff, that it's going to bring us comfort. Maybe we doubt people will even understand us. Or we think our secrets are so bad that getting them out and mourning them isn't even worth it anyways. We doubt it, so we keep it all inside. But guys, let me tell you, when we let pride, fear, and doubt hold us back from sharing our stuff, we will keep living life wondering why nobody understands us, why they don't understand our pain, our hurt, our struggles, or why we're acting the way we're acting. So we've got to say something. And what's really, really, really sad is there are so many people in your school, on your sports team, maybe even in your small group here at Ground Zero, that have secrets that are really hurting them, they're really painful for them, and nobody knows about it because they're just keeping it to themselves. And we all think they're totally happy, and we all think they're totally fine, but deep down they're not, because those secrets are eating away at their joy and eating away at their happiness. In fact, maybe that's you right now. Maybe it's you. If it is, I want to read you this psalm that the King David wrote. So King David was this rich king. He had everything anyone could ever want, but he had secrets. And I want you to see what happened when he kept them inside and didn't tell anyone, and how he felt about that. And then what happened when he finally got it out and confessed and vomited out his secrets. This is what King David wrote. He said, when I kept silent about my stuff, I didn't say it to anyone, my bones wasted away through my groaning all day long. Then I acknowledged my sin to you and did not cover up my iniquity. I wasn't silent anymore. I shared my stuff. I didn't cover it up. I said, I will confess my transgressions to the Lord. And what happened? And you, God, forgave the guilt of my sin. You forgave it. When we keep silent about our secrets and our stuff, when we refuse to mourn, when we refuse to just hold it in, David's like, we waste away Our joy wastes away, our happiness wastes away, our friendships waste away, and it's heavy on us day and night. And some of you, you know what I'm talking about. You felt that before. But God promises us. He was like, if we mourn, if we confess, if we stop being silent and get it out, He will comfort us, He will forgive us, He will understand us, and so will our family, so will our friends, and our parents, if we're honest. So I want to give you 3 quick ways we can stop keeping secrets and start being understood. The first way is this. We got to get real with somebody. We've got to get real with somebody. You know, here's what's crazy. We are the most connected generation in the entire world that's ever lived. You know, with social media and all that stuff, we're so connected. However, with us being so connected, loneliness is one of the biggest problems in our culture today. You know, because what's so sad is that most people don't have one close person in their life that they can just get real with. Not one person they can just get real with. You know, and that's a problem because we all need a somebody we can be real with. Someone who won't judge us when we vomit out our secrets. Someone who will listen to us and love us no matter what we've done or how we're feeling. We all need at least one close friend or a family member or counselor or mentor we can vomit out our stuff to. And here's the good news. If you don't have that somebody, we have hundreds of them at every campus, every single week here at Ground Zero that will be that somebody for you. So if you're in a small group, it's about time you start getting real with your small group leader. If you're not, get real with your pastor or another volunteer. Pull them aside. Be honest with them. Vomit out whatever it is you're feeling. And I promise you, if you do that, if you lay aside pride, fear, and doubt, and you trust them, you will start to experience comfort, and they will understand you. Okay? We got to get real with somebody. In fact, for the past 5 years, I've met with this mentor, and his name is Dan Jensen. I meet with him every Tuesday morning. Guys, he's 86 years old, but he is someone I can trust. If I have any secret feelings in my life, secret thoughts or sin, I tell Dan, and he listens to me, and he prays for me, and he gives me advice. He always asks me, he's like, how's your friendships? How's your job? How's your marriage? How's your relationship with God? And when he asks me those questions, the only way he can understand me is if I'm honest, is if I'm real. So here's my challenge for you. Who's your Dan? Find your Dan. Trust that person, get real with them. And again, if you don't know someone, we have them at every campus, every week, with a name tag, your pastor, your small group leader. Okay, the second way we can start being understood is to get real with the small group. We got to get real with our small group. There's something powerful that happens when we get real with a group of people who care about us, because God didn't create us to keep our secrets to ourselves, but share them with other people in community. Again, if you're not in a small group, if you don't have one, we have them meeting at every campus every week. Find a small group, get real with them, trust them, and God will show up. Okay, lastly and most importantly, we got to get real with Jesus. We've got to get real with Jesus. You guys, this is important. We can try and hide our secret feelings, thoughts, pain, struggles, sin from people. We can work really hard to do that, but we can't hide them from Jesus. Jesus already knows our stuff. So let's stop hiding. Let's start getting real. If you're feeling angry at God for something, tell him. Get real with God. If you're struggling with a secret sin, tell Jesus. If you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling depressed, or if you have thoughts about, harming or something like that, tell Jesus. Tell someone. There's something so powerful that happens when we literally get on our knees before Jesus and we mourn and we cry out our secrets to him. In fact, I love what Jesus says in the Gospel of Matthew. He says, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest." So Ground Zero, if we want to be understood, if we want comfort, we have to get real with somebody we can trust. We have to get real with the small group of people who care about us. And we got to get real with Jesus because he is a God who loves us. With that, let's pray at all campuses. God, we just come before you right now, and life can be tough. God, all of us have pride, fear, doubt in our lives, God, that just hold us back from being real about the hard things of life. God, the pain we feel over things, maybe the thoughts that we're having, or the sin in our life, God, and I just pray that we can trust your word when you tell us to mourn, when you tell us to get that out, and that we can trust other people, and you can show up and you can comfort us, God, and we can experience that. So we come before you right now, and we thank you for who you are. In Jesus' name, amen. Hey, thanks for coming, Ground Zero. Have fun at hang time.